Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Vanity. Ezel back in the Card Fight Vanguard as on the Vanity weekly review. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, and switch, shall we? This time today we are covering, I think, what actually may have been the last reveals for set 10, and then the newest reveal for set 11, even though we're gonna have more. It's just so far we only have one. And then we have the new Alestiel line, and we're also getting Felty Rosa later. So, you know, today is honestly my fucking day. The last week has been goddamn perfect for me, and I would go on a rant about this, but I don't feel like it right now. But if you guys want to know, I'll eventually explain if I feel like it. So let's go and get the start, shall we? First up today, we have the card that I guess was nearby the kickoff of the amazing day, and that was Juristic Dragon, or Juristic Dragon. Grade 3 champ, 13k base, continues rear guard during turn. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater than your opponent's if your Vanguard's grade is greater than your opponent's Vanguard, it gets plus 10k power. So all around pretty solid if you're on Griffle Gila, because grade 10, so 23k base. Grade 4 is going to take advantage of this too, or you're just going first, you can take advantage of this. All around, Juristic Dragon is a pretty good tech option for any deck, and I suggest at least a 1 of tech, maybe even a 2 of if you really want to see it, but honestly it works better for the grade 10 and grade 4 base decks. And just a note now, the reason why I was so hyped up is because the Overjust OSTs came out. I don't like 2 of them specifically, and if you know me, then you can take a guess of who they are, because I have kind of explained it on this channel before of which ones I like the least. But yeah, that came out after this, or at least for me it came out after this, and I was so hyped that I'm still riding on that hype train. So let's go ahead and continue. We have one of my favorite grade 3s in all of existence. And then, you know, I already liked Black Wings and White Wings, and now it got better. And that is Holy Angel Blessings Alestiel. I want to say this now. When the testings of Willista and Clarissa, they felt a little different compared to, you know, their other ones, and it felt like I had to get some getting used to. This new Alestiel felt like it fit the deck so perfectly that it, like, I don't know, it felt so comfortable adding her in. It's like the deck didn't change at all. It just got better, and that's what I loved about it, even though the other ones were the same situation. Anyways, Alestiel, grade 3 champion, 13k base. Love the art. You still get to see the dual wings. She just looks so amazing, in my opinion. Like, the details, it's just great. Dress up Archangel Twin Wings Alestiel during this fight. This card is also a guard specified card, but again, you can run 4 copies of each because, you know, it's only during the fight that they count as the same, not during deck building. Auto Vanguard, at the beginning of your main phase, choose a card from your bind zone, put it to your hand, and then put the top card of your deck, and then bind the top card of your deck. All around, same exact skill that the original Alestiel had, and that's pretty solid, being able to bounce a bound card to your hand and then bind a card from the top of the deck. And then Black Wings, active Vanguard, once per turn, discard 1, search after 1 card of Black Wings ability, call it to rear guard and shuffle your deck. All around, that's solid, because this is a ditch 1, superior search anything that you want from the deck that has Black Wings. It can be herself if you really wanted to. It can be the OG Alestiel. Me personally, it's either the on places like Fano that can swap out a bind zone card with a card in your hand, or it's also cards such as the grade 2 that can get boost. All around, this is an amazing skill alone, and if they stopped there, or like even if the second skill was a little bit weaker, it still would have been amazing, but the second skill is fucking amazing too, and that is White Wings. Auto Vanguard, at the end of the battle, she attacked into anything. Counterboss 1 and discard 1, search deck or hand for up to 1 Archangel of Twin Wings Alestiel as its original card name, ride it as stand, and it loses a drive for the turn. If you search your deck, you shuffle it. All around amazing, because not only if you're doing, because you know with Fano you can change Black Wings and White Wings, so you can get Black Wings first, call Fano with this thing skill, swap out the card, and then be in White Wings, and then attack with her. Then you do your drive check. Then you swap into the other Alestiel, and because you're still in White Wings, she gets plus 5k in a crit. All around, it's amazing. The fact that you can do all of this while your opponent's at grade 2 is fucking great. I love this. The deck feels so amazing with her. Easy 4 for me. Best thing Bushy has ever done in terms of upgrades, in my opinion. I'm gonna argue that point to the day I fucking die, because that's beautiful. And then we have an amazing card that works well with her, and that is a grade 1 boost 5k short 8k base, together with you, Seraphale. Auto, when she's placed on rear guard, choose a grade 3 with Alestiel's card name from your drops and put it to bottom deck. So great, it can pick her, or it can pick the OG, or any others they make. And then White Wings, auto back row rear guard circle, doesn't have to be specifically back row center. When your unit with Alestiel and its card name is placed on Vanguard during your battle phase, stand this unit. That is amazing because it's a freebie stand, and not to mention the fact, again, it doesn't have to be specifically in back row center, so if you find a way to do multi-attack in this deck with front row rear guards, you can then boost with this on the front row rear guards, and then use her skill to superior ride, and then you got a full back row restand. Seraphale is an amazing grade 1. I think she's great, and this is how you do a fucking support card for a new grade 3 upgrade. 4 of. Thank you, Bushy. You are making one of my favorite decks even better. Then we have Enveloping Lope Ariel. Okay, in my opinion, the one I use the least out. I mean, guaranteed the one I use the least out of these three, but still a solid card nonetheless. Grade 2 is a 5k shield, 10k base. Auto, when she is placed on rear guard circle, if you have a Vanguard, Alestiel in its card name, Card Boss 1, choose a card from your bind zone, put it to hand. If you did, put the top card of your deck into bind zone. All around, same pretty skill. It can, now we have 3 different ways to affect the bind zone, which is great. I think she's maybe not that needed that much for that, but her other ability is pretty solid though, and that is Black Wings. Auto, when she's placed on guard circle, choose one of your opponent's attacking units and it loses 5k for the turn. All around solid. She can drop the power of restands, making them a little bit less deadly, but also the fact, and again, she can swap out cards in bind zone, which is still a solid skill nonetheless, because worst case scenario, if you don't have your other bind switchers and you really need to get like from Black Wings to White Wings, you can just keep proccing her off till it works. Either way, Ariel is pretty good. I love her skill. I think she's great. Easy 4 for me, or 3 at worst in the Alestiel deck. Then we have our first set 11 card, and that is Stimulator Dragon. Honest to God, when this got revealed, I did not think this was a legit Vanguard card for a second until I looked at it, because I don't know, in my mind it just looked so different when I was looking at it the first time. And it was grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto rear guard when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater unit if your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater. Soul Blast 1, and this unit is supposed to 10k for the battle. All around, solid. 18k booster. Something tells me, like the other Gryffogila cards, because let's be fair, that it's interesting that they only started, well, not only, but they've printed more grade 3 or greater units ever since Gryffogila came out. I wonder what the relation with that could be. Oh, if only we had someone smart that could tell us. Okay, sarcasm aside, the 18k booster, how much you want to bet this is our newest clone? Because I feel like this is where we're going with it. But cool, solid option. I don't think it's bad. It never specified that the unit had to be a Vanguard or a rear guard, but I'm assuming it could be any unit, because I don't see a specification on any here on the Japanese card. So yeah, 3 of, I guess, in a Gryffogila deck. I don't fucking know. Next up, we have the Grade 2 Blitz Order from Dark State's Magical Poison Pharmacy. Grade 2 Blitz Order, Soul Blast 1 to play it. Choose one of your Vanguards being attacked, and it gets plus 10k done to battle. And then if you Soul Blast or trigger unit from this cost, it gets plus 20k instead of 10. So all around, pretty solid. Gets a decently big number. Works definitely well for Alma-Jestars, because you can Soul Blast out a bunch of triggers and recycle them back. If my Alma-Jestar deck actually liked me now, which it doesn't, but it's a possibility. Or just any Dark States deck that ends up soul charging a fuck ton of triggers. Oh wait, that's all of them pretty much. So being able to get a free 20k shield is not that bad, or Soul Blast want to get a 20k shield isn't that bad, and at the very least a 10k shield. So easy, I think, 2 of possible tech in pretty much every Dark States deck.
And let's now go over our final cards for today, which are all Felty Rosa cards except for one, and that is starting off with Night Sky, Searing, Divertimento, Ortrud, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. On a rear guard at the end of battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard Felty Rosa in its card name, card plus 1, put another rear guard with the same column as this unit to soul, and draw a card. All around pretty solid. It can get extra soul card, which sometimes Felty Rosa can have a soul problem, and allows you to draw a card. The only real issue here is the fact that it costs a CB, and unless you're pulling the grade 3 consistently that gets a countercharge one, then it's not really that great, because again, it's pulling over from CB for Felty Rosa skill. But all around, it's still not a bad skill nonetheless, being able to get a free draw and open up for our rear guard circle, so I'm giving it a solid 3 of in my Felty Rosa deck. Also because, well, this kind of looks like a moon in the background, so I count that as bias a little bit. Then we have Traumerei of Grazing Hands, Roswitha. Grade 2 stuff 5k shield, 10k base. Auto, when she is placed on rear guard other than from your hand, if a Vanguard of Felty Rosa in its card name, send all your rear guards and column as her, and this equals 5k for ton of turn. Okay, so 15k base with a restanding booster. Cool, that's actually really good. That because it gets you the ability to basically draw twice, proc 2 cards to soul, and just get decent numbers all around. Cool. And then auto rear guard. When this unit attacks, you may have this unit plus 5k for the battle. And if you do, put it at the bottom at the end of the battle. Okay, all around pretty great, because it's not a mandatory gain 5k, but if you want to give it 5k, it is a 23k column. If you use its first, go to 28k column. At the end of the battle, go in the bottom, so you can abuse the hell out of Felty Rosa skill. Okay, solid grade 2. Still not amazing, but I think it's still pretty solid, so easy 4 over 3 of in my Felty Rosa deck. And then speaking of Felty Rosa, we have our girl herself, Rondu of Plenilune, Felty Rosa. Honestly, I gotta say, I love the arts. The bunnies are so cute. Grade 3 to represent 13k base. Dress up Wando of Evening Time Mood. Felty Rosa during the fight is regarded as a specific card, but you don't have to do the same thing in main deck, so if you wanted to, you could run all 4 copies of them during deck building, and then they only change names during the fight, so you can still have all 4 copies of both of them. Pretty solid. Anyways, its skills. Contains Vanguard. During turn, if your soul has a grade 3 Felty Rosa in card name, all your former ghost units get plus 10k power. The fact this can trigger a Persona Ride by simply having a grade 3 with Felty Rosen's card name in your soul. At any point, by the way, whether your opponent's at grade 2 or not, is just funny to me. Because that means you can have a full Persona Ride going on while your opponent's at grade 2. With 5 attacks. Because his other ability is Active Vanguard once per turn, Counter Boss 1, and at the end of turn, this unit gets Auto Vanguard once per turn. When your draw check reveals a Ghost Normal unit or a grade 3 card with Felty Rosen's card name, you may call that card to an open rearguard circle, and then if you call a card, this unit gets +1 drive for the turn twice. Meaning, for free, unlike the original, you can just get a guaranteed rearguard in the drive check. Twice. Yeah, remember what I just said about the CV problem earlier from Ortrud? Yeah, disregard that, please. That, isn't it like grade 1 too that like sends Felty Rosa cards to Soul, so that is possible to pull it off on first grade 3 turn? Felty Rosa is about to cause some problems in this world, I can already tell. There's no reason not to run this on the ride deck. A possible Persona Ride on first grade 3 turn, and not to mention the fact that, it can do the original Felty Rose's ability twice for free, or like for half the cost. I can make no arguments against this. Then we have Divine Knight of Deeply Laid Strategems, Sajess. Cool art, unnecessarily long name, grade 3 champion, 13k base, continues rearguard to guard circle. If your opponent's try check or damage check or go to trigger this turn, it gets plus 10k shield and 10k power. Cool, so 23k base, 23k shield, or not 20, no, what the fuck am I talking about, 10k shield. Okay, pretty solid stats, but that's like what all of them have been doing. Auto rearguard once per turn when this unit attacks, you look at the top card of your deck and put it to top of the soul, and the Karen boss will perform all the following. Okay, I love how for free he sends something to either top or soul, and then you can CB1 to do the rest of the skill. All around, I think that makes him the best, counter trigger unit ever, because I don't remember the other ones having, something like that, where they have another skill on top of the, the counter boss one do a thing. But cool, free soul or free deck stack, and then choose one of your opponents. So counter boss one to perform all the following. Choose one of your vanguards, choose one of your opponent's vanguards that's 14k power or greater vanguards, and increase this unit's power by that unit's power till the battle. Okay, basically whatever current number this thing is, that's the equivalent to what they have to guard with. So, not bad. And then remove an overtrigger from your drop zone. Choose one of your other farming units that gets plus 15k for the turn. So, it's just trying to shut down the numbers they got by either making it so this thing is definitely hitting over whatever trigger they got, or giving someone else plus 15. All around, not bad. Honest to God, this is probably the best, counter trigger unit we've seen, not just because of this, but also because of the fact that this is the only one that's actually capable of getting past over triggers, because it increases this unit's power by the opponent's units, and it can attack anything for this. So if there's a pesky rearguard, you can just give this thing a fucking 1 million and go swing 1 million with it to the face, if of course they got the 1 million and they put it to Vanguard. Alright, so this isn't a bad grade 3. I still don't think I'm running him in any of my decks, but he's definitely warning of maybe a thought of at least 1 over 2 of tech, because, again, he has a solid skill, so why not? And that's it for the reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed. In the next one, I believe we are getting Laurinal. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I honestly don't remember. I'm just guessing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us, go to follow Twitch, and I'll see you on this one. Just set up your vanguards.